We've got a replay from the final boss, and this appears to be Diamond 3, 2v2. Where is... there he is. Player view. It's a good diagonal kickoff. And right off the bat, it's a goal. Nice. That's actually good. That was a really good read off that wall. That was good. Are you? You are. You're duo queuing, so I'm guessing that was communicated. Good. Ah. So you didn't get the greatest of touches here when you sort of side flipped into it. Looks like you hit it with the back of your car. You might have had a bit more power on that if you hit it with the front. Like if you, instead of turning the way that you are right now, if you turn the opposite way, so the front of your car is facing the right side, I think that you'd had a better challenge on that ball. But you still win the challenge, but you missed the wall hit though. It doesn't result in anything bad, so that's good. Good attempt. I'll watch that again. Probably could have double jumped off the wall and then started boosting towards it, and you started moving towards the right a bit. You almost get it. It's a little off to the right. Yeah, double jumping when you go off the wall like that just gives you an added, just like a little bonus of momentum towards the ball. And it also saves you a little bit of boost, so you can use more boost to get closer to the ball. Really good wall clear there. I think your teammate should have pushed up on that there. I want to see what he's seeing the whole time. So you're up there, and you're falling back. He doesn't really have a reason to push, but then he starts going way too far back. See, him not attacking here is fine, because there's no way he's getting that ball because of, you know, the distance between him and the other two players with the ball. But at the same time, once Mr. Black hit it over there, I feel like he should have started turning to at least face him, but he keeps falling back. We'll go back to you. And you get a good 50 on that. Looks like Mr. Black was struggling on the dribble. A little bit of an awkward moment there. Looks like you use your second jump a bit late. And it also looks like you hesitate a bit after you getting your second jump. And then you have to recorrect yourself. That's just kind of an awkward moment, because your teammate misses the touch off the wall. But here, Jesus is pushing that. I think if you weren't a bit hesitant on your double jump there, you would have had a better chance of hitting that. Then you miss it off the wall as well. It's good patience, although the touch right here was a bit unlucky. It looked like you were trying to just catch the ball. If it didn't get so much power off of that, you could have dribbled it forward a bit. But it looks like it was just an unfortunate timing. It's good speed. Another good wall clear by your teammate. Ah. I probably would have kept boosting towards that while getting your doink touch, because you did get the touch off of it, and that's a good thing. Getting those doinks can be a little difficult at times, but you managed to get it. But I would have probably have been boosting towards that the whole time instead of doing the couple taps. Yeah, then it looks like, let me watch that from Mr. Black to see what he sees. So yeah, he just gets the 50 off of you into the net. And that was a nice shot. That was a really good read off the backboard. And a really good pass from your teammate. Your teammate hits it up, hits the backboard, you're already up. That's really good. I'm just gonna watch it again. Now, a lot of people at your rank usually wait for that to hit the wall before they go up for that, but you jumped up before it even touches the wall, and that's good. It's good to have that kind of speed. And you hit it right into the net. Aww. Here I would have just done a power shot into the net. Because if you see, we'll pan out here. By the time you get there, the net's wide open. And even still, with Zeus getting there, if you hit it powerful enough, right here, he's not saving that. But I saw what you're wanting to do. You're wanting to take it slow, which is not a bad thing, but you just took it slow at the wrong time. And it also kind of bounced a bit awkwardly off you, it looked like. Yeah, it bounced a little high. You should have stolen the boost there. Let me go back to that. Some of the replays can be a bit buggy with boost spawns. I just need to see if it was actually there or not. So yeah, the boost was there. If I were you, since you have 7 boost, I would have stolen that. You do end up getting that one though. I don't know if you called your teammate off of that or, but you ended up getting boost and not having to fall completely back, even though the ball is on your guys' side now. Good pass by your teammate. You went a little late on the jump. I think here, let's see. So through here, once you spawn and you see that your teammate has hit it out, I would turn your ball cam off for a little bit. So then you'd see that both of those guys are... Holy crap, this looks weird. Both of the other team is trying to fall back more towards the right side of the field. And they're not challenging it either. So what I would do... Let me go back to you. Not that. Player view. Oh, that was when you got demoed. Yeah, toggle the ball cam really fast just to see where the opponents are. And then I would have jumped about here. It looks like you did. Let me check that again. So it hits the ceiling. So it looks like you jumped at the right time, but you didn't move right fast enough. Because it ended up being just a little... If you hit that a bit more on the right side of the ball, that would have been a bit more straight. Those can be a little tough to read, though. That was another bad catch. It looks like you're trying to hit it too far to the side of your car, which is ideally what you want. But if it's too far away like that, then it'll just pinch away, as it does here. Although it kind of works out because your teammate is right there for it. Looked like you were trying to catch it again. Did you get the second touch? You do. Nice. Didn't really result in anything, but being able to read the second touch there is actually a good thing to be able to do. And you manage your boost very well as well. And doing something like that, although it doesn't really end up with anything, and yeah, your teammate kind of misses there, but with you being up a goal, something like this is okay, although that second touch wasn't great, but it's still good that you were able to read that. If it were possible, you would want to touch it so it goes out to their side. That's probably what you're wanting to do, but you get a light touch off to the side. That's not what I wanted. Does that just go in? Oh, it does. So this ended up being a goal, a mixture of a couple things. The second touch was good, but you hit it kind of on the front. Let me turn this cam off. I'll take it back a little bit and slow it down for you. Slow it down to 25. So you hit it about here. And as you can see, that's more towards the front of the ball. So you're going to hit it at... Usually that results in like a negative angle. But at the same time, you hit it more towards like the left. So that means the ball is going to kind of float off into the right like that. So if you had hit the ball... again, about maybe where the giant blue dot is, or maybe even a bit up. I'm sure I'll probably make a marker of where where it would have been better to hit it from here, just to clear it out to the opposite end of the field. Let me watch this from your friend's perspective as well. Oh, he shouldn't have jumped like that. With how slow that ball is moving, he probably could have just started the boost like he did, but then immediately flip to just get a little bit of additional momentum. And then instead of jumping, he probably would have had time to ride up the wall, since it ends up not hitting. It doesn't go up very high by the time it hits the wall. So he could have driven up the side of the wall and then hit it outward, but he tries jumping for it and misses. I think if he had more boost, he might have had a better chance of hitting that too, but you could have approached that differently. That was good patience there, not immediately attacking the ball. A lot of times, someone like Jesus in a position like that would just blast it towards the net, but he gets kind of a weak touch, and you recognize that, and then you start to push. That was good on your end. Missed the bump, though. If you had the bump, that definitely would have stopped them from scoring that again. It looks like your teammate was a bit too far up as well during that. He should have gone right there. Right when that gets popped up, he should be pushing that and going for it. But he doesn't do anything. He could have done two things there. He could have either, if he wanted to play aggressive, he could have gone for it the way that I said, or he could have started to fall back. Which he kind of does, but then he turns around to try and go for it again, and then Jesus just hits it over him. It's a good little air dribble there. Also, you did a good job with just taking it back to your end. You don't always have to push it forward. Also, excuse me, if so a lot of people here would try to hit it back towards the orange side of the field. Like, they wouldn't want it to fall back, so they'd probably backflip into that. That was a good job that you just took it back to your end of the field. It was a good air dribble. A little bit of a double commit there, but I think it ends up working out for the moment. I think your teammate probably could have hit that a bit differently. So right now, pretty much what he sees is that there's no one on the right side of the field. The only person that he has to worry about is Mr. Black. And since he has no boost, he probably shouldn't have slammed it out like that. And it does clear it away. But one option would be that since Mr. Black isn't pushing, he probably could have grabbed that boost that was right next to him. The one that's didn't mean to do that. The one that's right there. Let me see this from here. Because the ball is moving kind of slow, and Mr. Black isn't pushing up as well. He's just kind of watching passively. I think if you let that bounce a bit farther and kind of trying to find the right wording for this. Yeah, I think, if he waited, instead of slamming it out, if he had let the ball roll up a bit farther, grabbed that boost pad, he might have been able to start dribbling that. And if he's confident in flicks, he could probably attempt that against Mr. Black because he's not really in a position to save the ball. But that's just something to think about. We'll go back to you. I think we're too far back. Now I don't know where I'm at. Okay, here we are. I wouldn't have jumped for that. Because you see, Jesus is already up. So no matter what, he's going to beat you. Especially with how late you go. So right here is when you initially begin to jump. You see, Jesus is already up in the air and boosting towards that. So he beats you by quite a bit there. Oop, don't want auto cam. Your teammate was there to clear it away, which is good. I might have waited to go for that because if Mr. Black was able to... Let me see what his boost scenario was. So he doesn't have enough boost. If he had enough boost, he could have hit that right over your head. But looks like he isn't confident in his ability to read those. So it ends up working out. But these can also be kind of dangerous at the same time. Because if he were to hit that, you can see that your teammate is still trying to recover back. So that could have led to a counter attack on their end and another goal for them. I would have just left that. Especially because your teammate's right there. I also don't know if you guys are in comms and communicating. If you are, then something for outside to be, which it would be after that, to say that he's, you know, I'm behind you. That's something that gets said a lot when someone's falling back in kind of an awkward situation like the one that you're in, because you're already on the wall, like you're already on this side of the field, and you're shadowing it for a bit, which is good, but I don't think that you're aware that your teammate is behind you. So if you guys are communicating to each other and trying to call out stuff, he should tell you that he's behind you and that you should leave it. And also at the same time, even if you guys aren't in comms, going for this can be a bit dangerous. I probably would have just shadowed for a bit longer, because you started doing it there, and then you went for it, and you missed, and now you have no boost, and you're trying to rush back. And there's another case of you jumping up a bit late on it. You don't have ball cam on either, so you can't really read how the ball is going. I mean, you can see the indicator on the ground, but it's not the best way to watch that. Because by the time you jump again, Jesus is already up. Do you single or do you double jump there? Let me see. Okay, you double jump. Jesus was just there a bit quicker. Let me see that from his angle. And he single jumps. I mean, you almost beat him. Let me see what could have... Yeah, you're a bit to the side. You're a bit to the right of the ball. If you were more to the left, you probably could have had a better chance at a 50-50 there. But I think part of what may have messed you up was not having the ball cam on at this moment. So it gets a bit harder to read. It was good defense. There's just kind of a series of iffy touches there. That touch ended up getting a lot of height. And then it was started going a bit towards the right when Mr. Black starts going for it. And then you tried hitting it again, but you're too far in front. Aw. So you get an okay catch. You don't immediately boom it away, which is good. But it's not the greatest of touches, because it kind of bounces away. It doesn't roll smoothly up the wall. Kind of bounces a bit awkwardly. But it ends up kind of working. And then you miss that. I think if you got that touch off the wall while you're landing, if you were able to hit that, which I think if you were aimed a bit higher, like if you pulled your car to be aimed a bit more upwards, you may have been able to get that. I don't think Mr. Black would have been ready for that. Let me watch that from his perspective. Yeah, he's fully committed to hitting that ball right there. So if you got that touch, that would have thrown him off. Good defense, but then you panic. Teammate gets bumped, so he's in a bit of an awkward place. You avoid the bump from Mr. Black, and you get a good save. But then you go for it immediately again. And there's a couple things to factor in here. Your teammate is already up 2. And so is Zeus. So again, if you guys are in comms, if outside said, I got it, that would help you know that you don't need to go up for it and you should start preparing for potentially another shot on net. Let me see how outside went for that. He doesn't have a whole lot of boost. He might have had a better chance at getting that if he... Oh, did that really happen? I'm watching that boost pad. Oh, it did. Oh, that's kind of unlucky. He would have had the boost to get that if he didn't have such an unfortunate timing with going for that boost. It spawned right as he went past it. He would have had the boost to get that away. And I'm also really surprised that the other team didn't score off of that. So I think Black sort of froze up. May have been a bit too close as well. He also didn't have boost. Yeah. He doesn't have boost, and he's slightly out of position to make that shot. I mean, he's not really in any rush to get another one in since they're up one. It looks like this is just where the game ends. Yeah. So a couple things that I would recommend working on would be your ball catches. There are a lot of times where you were wanting to catch the ball, but you ended up getting a bad catch and ended up going a bit weird. Another one would be knowing when to go up and when to play defensively. For the catching, I want to see if I have a training pack for this. If not, I'll make one real quick. I don't think I have one, so I'll just make one real fast. Alright, so I just completed the pack. It's a little bit simple one. I've called it catch training. Here's the code. I'll probably put this code in the notes. But basically, all it is just practicing you catching the ball on your car. You don't really need to worry about getting it in the net. This is more of just, the timing of getting it on your car. So you let the ball come to you, and then just take control of it afterwards. You're not always going to get a perfect catch. I'll show you the other one. Is this one where it kind of bounces from an angle and you just catch it. The next one is a bit quicker. This one's a bit harder, so don't worry if you are having a harder time with this one, because it's faster and it requires a bit more patience and skill to get this one down. But you'll learn pretty quickly on this one. It's just all about getting the timings of where to position your car to catch it in a better area. Because you kind of have to lean your car a bit. You have to kind of turn it a bit to the left to get a better catch. See, that was probably one of the better catches you can get. Then here's the fourth one where it lobs all the way to your corner. And then you can just start dribbling up the field. Now you can use this pack if you want, or you can just try and free play, hit the ball around. Or if you have Bacchus mod, that's a good one too, but you can hit it against the wall and then catch it. With Bacchus mod, you can have some different modes. If you've not heard of Bacchus mod, or if you don't use Bacchus mod, I would strongly recommend trying it. It's really good for training purposes. It still has some of the features like Alpha Console if you use that, but it has some additional free play training stuff. Like you can set the ball to hit towards the side of the field that you're driving towards, so you can either get those like really fast shots. You can have it sort of just slowly roll towards you, so you can just pop it up, get a bit of a dribble going. And if you struggle with dribbles for a little bit, you just have the ball spawn on your car. And there's also the one where you can pass to yourself. So instead of just trying to get it hit off the wall, you can feel like, oh, what if someone passes it to me right now? And also it's good for getting fast reads. And it's good for pretty much everything. It's a really good training tool. And it's got like this menu here So you can adjust some things, like you can set it so, as you were seeing, when I'm putting the ball into the net, it doesn't score. And it also tells me the speed that I scored it at. This just kind of helps it, you can just kind of keep the free play going. And if you want to watch the replays, that's fine. But that's just, it gives you a lot of options to choose from. And same with the custom training. You can adjust the dials for slight variances in your training. Like you can also limit the boost. You can have yourself start at a certain speed, whether it's driving backwards or forwards. You can change the variance at which the ball will move at. Trajectory, ball location for left and right, up and down, spin, the time limit. So if a training pack is too short, you can extend the timer to 10 seconds. Car location, car variance. It's just overall a great tool. And then if you use Alpha Console, you still have your item mods. You won't be able to use things like the titles, but you'll still be able to use the item mods. And then there's these. Like there's the different modes. I use normal mode. This is the where you can choose where the ball goes. There's different modes, like a save plugin. I don't know where it's at. It might be in here, the plugin section. There's just a lot of advanced features to mess around with. But I use it mostly for the free play and custom training stuff. And then you can also set the game speed. So if you're someone that likes doing slow-mo, you can set it to 0.75. And now your free play match is in slow-mo. This can be useful if you ever feel like you're playing slow and you feel like everything's moving really sluggishly. You can just slow down the game for a little bit in free play, hit the ball around, and then just press reset to get back to 1. And you're moving back at your normal speed. Same with gravity. You can do the same with gravity here. You can set it to a negative value. It's at really high gravity, which is more like goofing off. You can invert the gravity, so it's exactly the opposite, to work on like wall plays, if this is kind of your thing. But it's fun to mess around with, like trying to score a goal with negative gravity. Since it's not as easy as driving the ball into the net, you kind of have to push it down there. So, and it's just a fun thing to mess around with, and it's also a really good training tool that I would highly recommend. And you can also disable boost, limit your boost, which, I mean, you can do that in the regular options right here. But that's kind of all I've got for this replay, at least. Fell a bit behind with going over the replays since after having a bit of a power outage issue. But I'll be getting onto the second one that you sent me, and I'll sort of do the same thing if I find anything worth mentioning. But overall, you're doing pretty good especially for Diamond 3. You had a lot of good moments from that game, while still having some things to learn on. So overall, I would say good job. But then just the things that I said to work on within this video, you can just keep working on those. Feel free to use the training pack. If you have any more questions, feel free to just message me, whether it's on the man Discord or just through a DM. I'll be sure to get to you as soon as possible, since I'm on pretty much most of the day. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something from this. And also feel free to send in more replays if you want. I'll be glad to go over them again. And that's going to be it for me.